Hello YouTube friends, Alicia here. So this is a video kind of following up my craft room cleanup. Some of you I know started watching it, and you know what, I've been thinking about something, and that is consumerism in the craft world. And the reason I've been thinking about it is because every time you turn on YouTube, there's haul videos, which I enjoy watching if it's something I can get in the country I live in, which is Canada. And I realize that that sounds silly, but there are lots of things that are not available where I live. And so, you know, I don't have much interest in watching things that are not available. But I just watch, and it's like, oftentimes I think, what do they do with all this stuff? And I have so much stuff. And so one of my goals has been to buy less. And so this last week, instead of, you know, going to the thrift store a couple times a week, which I like to do, A, to look around, and B, just to get out of my house a little bit, because it's a really close walk for me. I went once and I spent $2.50 on a couple items I needed for a project. And that was the only thing I bought at the thrift store. And then I went to Michael's the other day and I bought 2 more distressed oxide inks, because I am trying to get that set. But buying supplies that are, you know, like tools, like the inks and stuff, that's totally different than, you know, just buying more things that I have already. I don't have the distressed oxide inks. I enjoy mixed media, so, you know, that's something I am trying to get slowly, so that I can go ahead and start using those. I've used my distress inks over the years, lots and lots, and I've started using them again in my projects, so I know that it's something that once I get everything organized, I will be using more. So, like I said, I wanted to get on and talk about consumerism and what I am doing to try and avoid getting stuck in that trap anymore. So, I have gotten rid of, and what I am showing you in my hand is just some little golden books that I'm going to be turning into journals, and I want to show you them, just in case anybody is interested in a journal that I will be making with them. So, yeah, some of them I'll be keeping, but that's why I'm holding them. But anyways, so, yeah, like I said, I've been cleaning and cleaning and cleaning, and I just feel like I'm moving one pile to a room, to another room, to another room, and never getting anywhere, and starting to feel like I'm living in a storage unit instead of a house. And I hate that. So, with that said, I have gotten rid of, I don't know, probably about 6 inches of paper, which doesn't sound like a lot compared to what I have, and it's really not, but it has allowed me to fit all my paper where, my 12 by 12 paper where I want it, and as well as my 6 by 6 all fits where I want it, and 8.5 by 11 I still have lots of, but that's different because that's solid colored cardstock, and I use that all the time. But anyways, so basically what I'm saying is it's getting rid of, you know, the 6 inches of paper, a pile of 6 by 6 albums, and things like that has allowed me the space I needed for these items. The other thing I did was I went through some wooden stamps and I got rid of about 15 to 20 of those. I still need to get rid of more, but, you know, it's things that I'm not using and somebody else can enjoy. I went through and I got rid of, I think, about 15 stencils that, once again, somebody else can enjoy, because I wasn't. I want to be able to, you know, keep the stencils I use, and there are some that I'd like to purchase that I would use, but can't justify purchasing when I have a pile that I don't use. So, and I keep saying so. So basically what I wanted to do is come on, share my thoughts about consumerism and how we are so influenced to buy everything that everybody else has because they have it. And then it's not our style, and it sits. I have bookshelves full of books. I have 3 bookshelves completely full of books for journaling junk making, scrapbooking, card making, all that kind of thing. And I do use it. I'm not going to say I don't. I use a lot of the stuff I have on them, but in this lifetime, I'll never use everything I have because I got caught up in buying what everybody else had. You know, whether it's from a thrift store or a garage sale or whatever. It's not things that I've spent piles of money on, but now it's things that I have to store. I also went through and got rid of a big bag of books that I knew I was never going to miss, allowing me the space I needed on my bookshelf to put the books I wanted on there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to think what else I've done. I threw out about the equivalent of 2 garbage bags full of stuff because I just don't need to keep every scrap of paper. I have also, like I said, been very careful of what I've been bringing into my house. If it's something I'm going to use, that's one thing, but if it's something that everybody else has and I just want it for that reason, that's another thing. So, you know, like Lindsay at the Frugal Crafter says, store it at the store. Chances are when you need it, it will still be there. And I am working on that. You know, especially things that are always available. You know, paper, stamps, inks, stickers, all that kind of stuff. They're always going to come out with more of it. You know, just because it's on sale doesn't mean I need it. I do stock up on certain things because it's not always available in my area. And so certain adhesives I stock up on because if I run out, it's not, like I said, it's not always available in my area and I am 2 hours away from the next store that would carry it. I have, you know, extra scissors that I like. What else do I stock up on? Card bases, because once again, they're not always available where I live, and I use them all the time. So I try and be, you know, reasonable. If it's something I know that I will run out of before it will come back into stock, I will purchase more. If it's something that, you know, I have tons of and I don't, you know, go and buy it because I see more has come into the store, whatever you want to say. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Okay, so the other thing I did want to talk to you about is I want to know what you guys do to keep organized and to not fall into, you know, consumerism and just consume and consume and consume and feel like your house is a storage unit. So any tips, leave them below. Any questions or comments, leave them below. I will be going back into my craft room and showing you what I've done. I've made tons of progress in there. In fact, I've done my last 2 videos in there because I now have space on my table. But it is nowhere near where it needs to be. And, you know, honestly, that's the least of my issues. My biggest issue is my large craft room. I do not craft in here very often because it's so cluttered. And it is ridiculous to have a big bedroom that I can't craft in. So I have spent some time today working on it. Not that you can tell, but that is what I've done. And then I will now show you really quickly what I will be working on. So I have a huge stack. This is obviously not a huge stack of little golden books. I love them. We had them growing up that I'm going to be turning into journals. And like I said, some of them I'll be keeping. This one is not one I'll be keeping. How the Garden Grows, I'm not sure. So the dog one I will most likely be keeping. This one I will not be. And Donald Duck Instant Millionaire I might be keeping. So if you're interested in the little Pokey Puppy, Best Friends, or How the Garden Grows, and even Donald Duck Millionaire, if you are interested in that, I'd be willing to get rid of them. The only one I want to keep, like I said, for sure, is the dogs one. Let me know, and I will customize it the best I can to the best of my abilities. My little golden books are anywhere between 35 and 45, depending whether I include shipping or not, and depending how many signatures there are, and that's US pricing. And if there is enough interest that I have like enough orders, I would go down into the States and ship it. so I could ship it in a box instead of shipping to Canada, from Canada, just because that the shipping from Canada to the States is outrageous. But yes, there has to be obviously more than 1 or 2 sales for me to do that, because I would have to drive down to the States. I'm not in the States. Anyways, I have rambled on enough about what I think about consumerism and how I'm trying to avoid it. I will talk to you soon. Let me know what you think of this video in the comments below. Like I said in my last video, I will come back on with my 600 subby giveaway probably tomorrow. And yeah, talk to y'all soon.